Halito. I'm Diana Folsom from the Gilcrease Museum, and I'm Director of Digital Collections there. And I am here at ATALM 17 with some of my favorite people in the entire world. One of them is Dr. Ann Early.
I'm Dr. Ann Early, and I'm the Arkansas State Archeologist. And I work in Northwest Arkansas, just a couple of hours from the Gilcrease, but I work with Gilcrease Collections on occasion.
And we are presenting a project that we were granted from the IMLS, a fantastic project. It has a long title. If I can remember the entire name, you may have to jump in to help me. It's Native Artists and Scholars Bring Past to Present, Multi-Disciplinary Perspectives for Mississippian Culture Pottery. Now that's a tongue twister for me, but it represents what we're actually doing, which is that we are inviting scholars who've been studying these magnificent ceramic vessels in the Gilcrease collection, collected by Judge Harry Lemley. 3,500 objects we thought we had. We ended up finding about 2,500, and so we added items from the bank's collection to make the full 3,500. And so we've been cataloging them and imaging under the coaching of Dr. Ann Early and Dr. George Sabo, also from the University of Arkansas, and taking beautiful images to share them online in a special new software utility we made called the Distance Cataloging Interface, to allow scholars and experts from anywhere around the world to log into this password-protected site and have these invited scholars comment and add information that enriches our collection information and will assist us in further work with tribes and cultural heritage representatives to have consultations and further meetings with tribal representatives. In addition, we also have the Native Artist perspective represented by Jerry Redcorn, also Chase Earls, but they're two artists from the Caddo tribe, Anita Fields from the Osage tribe, and Betty Getke from the Quapaw tribe. And we've been working with them for about a year and a half to develop a vocabulary and to add meaningful search terms from the artist perspective, so that these Native artists can explore these magnificent vessels and learn about techniques and iconography that help them in their own ceramic practice expand and learn about and advance what they're doing. And they all learned a great deal from being able to explore these incredible ceramic vessels. So it's been a great honor to work on this project.
One of my jobs as state archaeologist in Arkansas is to repatriate, where I can, information and collections that have come from Arkansas back to be used in Arkansas today on research and public education and conservation and preservation of archaeological sites. And we have a database of nearly 50,000 archaeological sites and millions of artifacts in 10 different regional offices. I've been doing my research as well since the 1970s, mainly on ceramics and Caddo ceramics in particular. So I've been familiar with the Lemley collection and the pottery objects in it for many decades, and have used old photographs, but have not had a chance to work with the collections themselves. And so I was asked, as part of this project, along with my colleague George Sabo, who's the survey director, to review and offer comments on the items and the information in the database as it was being developed. And so I sit in great luxury in my office in Arkansas, and I can use my computer to get access to the Gilcrease beta version of this database, and I review each photograph of each vessel one at a time and look at the information that's been compiled so far. And then I offer suggestions as to updated, more recent research information on the age of the object, on its name, on the configuration of the designs perhaps. And I'm also researching the source site, which is not in the information in Gilcrease, so that I'm linking this Lemley collection and the Gilcrease collection to our database, which I firmly believe will enhance both the value and the intellectual as well as historic information, both for the Gilcrease and its collection and for us in the state of Arkansas. We have our digital database of 50,000 sites and information that's been collected over 50 years about them. And now we'll be able to intersect that with the specific information of the vessels that I'm looking at on a day-to-day basis. And I've been working on this for about a year. I work about 10 hours a week, an hour or two a day, looking at the vessels, and I have just passed item number 1,730 out of 3,200 to go, or 3,200 in all. So it will take me about a year at this rate, devoting a little time a day to it to finish. But I think in the end, I know I will benefit from the information, and I think my state and my institution and the researchers who come to us and the tribes who come to us as partners will benefit, and I think that the Gilcrease will benefit as well, and its constituents and its partners in the tribal world and in the public. So it's a fascinating opportunity for me to look carefully at the information and clearly in the comfort of my own research office with my references and be able to contribute information to the Gilcrease. So it's fascinating, but it is something you need patience for.
So this software is, as you said, it's in beta version. We've been continually improving it through the past couple of years as we've been developing the software, and we'll continue to do more with it. And I'm really happy to hear that it's relatively easy to use for you so far.
Yes.
We went out and did special one-on-one trainings with each artist and with Ann and with George to make sure that they really understood how to use it, and we are available to answer questions. And this software is made in Drupal. It's open source, and it's available for anyone to pick up the code and integrate it into your own system. So I'd like to make sure that people know it's available for them to use as well. And we've just received another IMLS grant that's going to allow us to continue to make it better and add new fields of different types of information, such as people and events and transcriptions, and a separate field for site number. Because the way it is now, all the information Ann adds, which is fantastic and rich, has a site number, but we obviously need to parse that data, pull it out, and put it into another field. But this is a password protected site, so only invited experts or people who request permission to see the vessels would need to get approval from the tribes. I would also like to mention a couple of other names. Jesse Novak was a graduate student from the Texas State University, and he was the team leader for the cataloging and imaging, and he did a wonderful job, I think, and was very enthusiastic.
It's a very big job, get all
Yes.
that information in there to
Yes.
begin with.
Yes, and the students, also University of Tulsa graduate assistants, helped him. Angela Cooper and Dolores Navarro, and then we also had a graduate student from the art department help with imaging one summer, Jeannie Kim. And they all loved the project, and they were really good about learning how to work quickly but do a beautiful job, and I wanted to thank them. And then Dr. Holly Witchy was a cataloging advisor, and she was very helpful to us in developing vocabularies with the Native artists and to organize our meetings. So,
One last thing from my research perspective is that because of the detailed information in Judge Lumley's catalog that's been saved at the Gilcrease for the last 60 years, and the database information we've collected over a half century, we are able to identify the location, the source location of over 98% of the objects so far, which is an enormous step up both in terms of research and conservation and preservation and cultural identification. So it has really enhanced the multifaceted value of the collection to the Gilcrease Institute and also to the state of Arkansas and to descendant groups who will use the information as well.
yes. So thank you. Thank you,
Well,
Anne.
It's been an interesting, it is an interesting and ongoing project.
Yes, it's not stopping.
Not yet.
No, so, okay, thank you very much.